Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. It's July 24th, and today we're going to take a look at this much anticipated heat wave, but we're also going to take a look at how this is potentially going to end. Some of the models are showing some troughing coming for the Pacific Northwest in the extended forecast. Taking a look at the visible satellite imagery, you can see low clouds burning off quickly across the area today, except along the immediate coast. Upper level low spins through western Montana, maybe a couple thunderstorms at that. That'll push off to the east. Some forest fire smoke along the border there, and you can see forest fire smoke down into California here too. Keep that in mind. We'll look at that forecast here coming up in a moment. So checking out the water vapor loop, look at that strong storm moving up through western Alaska here. This is amplifying the ridge that will take form here over northwest portions of North America, setting the stage for our heat wave across the region here as we go on in through next week. So jumping right into things here for Spokane, excessive heat watch in effect, potential record highs, high temperatures up towards 110 Wednesday through Friday. Excessive heat watch also for the Willamette Valley. Portland's going to be flirting with 100 on multiple days as well. You can get some relief along the immediate coastline of Washington, Oregon, up through British Columbia. However, we'll look at some of those temperatures here in a moment. Seattle, 72 degrees yesterday. Again, beautiful sunshine, nice day. It's going to be warmer today, though, and we're going to warm up even further Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as we go through mid next week coming up here. We'll look at some of those temperatures here in a moment. Here's 5,000 feet here. You can kind of see the wind already starting to turn offshore again here through Sunday morning into early afternoon, and we can really see this start to go offshore as we go through Monday. Check out these winds just flowing across out over the ocean here as this thermal trough builds all the way up the coast of western BC as we go through Tuesday. So taking a look here, vertically integrated smoke. This is wildfire smoke. There's that forest fire burning out here on the Idaho-Montana border. California fire is going down here. And we put this into motion. You can see that smoke try to work up towards Oregon here. This thermal trough builds north. We may bring some of that into the region here. Hopefully it's not too thick, and maybe it'll just enhance the sunsets a bit at night. We'll continue to monitor that forest fire smoke, though. You can see the European here, 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet, just kind of showing you guys how warm it's going to get aloft here. This is that indicator of that thermal trough moving up the coastline here. See these winds move off the higher terrain, sink, compress, and heat as they go out over western portions of Washington and Oregon here, Vancouver Island, all the way all over the Pacific Ocean here. Again, this is 5,000 feet, so pretty intense little heat wave coming up here. Nothing like 2021, but still a pretty good heat wave. This is looking at the GFS here. Now we're looking at the ridging. We've been talking about that. You saw this strong storm here on the water vapor loop. And then as we go through the week here, we eventually start to break that ridge down. We start to bring some troughing here back across the region here. But now watch this as we go further on into the following week as this trough really opens up over the area. The GFS has been showing this now, and it even gets reinforced on into the future. I mean, getting way out here in fantasy land at this point, but we've got to watch this, and this is probably the end to our heat wave here as we go through later next weekend. You can kind of see that ridge flatten out there, and a little bit of onshore flow is probably going to be starting there probably on Sunday. So we'll continue to monitor the timing on that. We've got a long way to go before we get there. This is looking at the European here, and this is the Ensemble mean, shows that ridge building nicely. Ridge starts to flatten out as we get towards next weekend here, and you can see the hint of that troughing here. This is yesterday afternoon's European run, but it's kind of in agreement here with the GFS showing that general troughing pattern. So we'll continue to watch that pretty closely here. We don't know what this will bring yet. It'll definitely bring cooler conditions, or what we're going to experience this week here. Maybe some thunderstorm activity across the region here too. So looking at Tri-Cities, GFS, probably take a few degrees off these, but they're going to be flirting with 110 here, probably 3 or 4 days are coming up later next week. So pretty intense heat wave for portions east of the Cascades coming up here. So heads up. Seattle, Tacoma, European model here. This is last night's 06 run. 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees, 90 plus. You can see all the ensembles, for example, on Tuesday are 90 plus. Wednesday, basically every single one except maybe one has 90 degrees plus for Wednesday. So pretty warm period coming up here, folks. You know, a lot of the homes in Seattle don't have air conditioning. They're made to trap heat. They don't cool off at night. So this is going to be a problem for a lot of people that don't have air conditioning in the Puget Sound, Willamette Valley region. This is Portland. Check this out. Look at the European. 1, 2, 3, 4 days probably flirting with upper 90s towards 100 degrees here. Look at some of these ensemble runs for Portland here as we go through the week. Pretty intense. I mean, look at Tuesday night here, right up towards 100. Virtually all the ensemble runs have. So pretty intense warm stretch coming up here for Portland. This is the GFS, kind of showing a little bit cooler than the European. That's kind of unusual, but probably a little more onshore flow here, but still well into the mid 90s here through at least Friday here. And now taking a look here, Kamloops is up here. This is British Columbia. Here's Washington. Kamloops. We have Hope, Abbotsford, Vancouver, and Saturna Island are out here. I wanted to show you that before I show the Ensemble runs here. You can see how Vancouver and Saturna Island are right out here on the water. Abbotsford a little bit further inland, but still gets that marina influence, and Hope a bit less, and Kamloops much less. So taking a look, Kamloops, 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 days, 86 degrees or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius or higher. Nice heat wave coming up there for eastern BC. As we go towards Hope, it's west of the main divide there, but you can still see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, probably 30 C or higher, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So nice heat wave there. But as you get towards the coastlines more, you see Abbotsford pretty good. Temperatures into the 80s, probably 3 days here coming up, maybe 4 days. Then you get towards Vancouver, British Columbia, and you can see much cooler right along the water there, probably up towards 70 degrees for 3 or 4 days. Not much of a heat wave at all there. And look at Saturna Island, also same thing. You can see that marine influence there as you get out near those water areas. Friday Harbor, for example. I mean, look at, you're just talking mid 60s for some of these days coming up here. Astoria along the Oregon coast also probably up towards 70 degrees a couple days, but definitely no heat wave coming up here for the Oregon, Washington coast and these immediate coastal areas. So yeah, get ready for the heat wave again. Like I talked about, you know, these homes in this area are meant to trap heat for 9 months out of the year. So when these heat waves come, it's not the same thing as when you're getting really hot off into areas like down in Texas and whatnot, where every single home basically has air conditioning. A lot of places here do not have it. So yeah, enjoy this weather coming up today. It's going to be a really nice day, around average here for Seattle, 79 degrees. Probably, you know, you're going to look back at today and go, wow, that was pretty cool, because once we get into the midweek here, most of the area is going to be really broiling, but at least you do have the option of going out towards the immediate coastline, especially northern Puget Sound, Oregon coast, Washington coast, Vancouver Island coastlines. You can get away from that heat. But we'll continue to watch that trough potentially coming up for the following week, and we'll watch this forest fire smoke and see how much of it's going to infiltrate into our region here as we go on in through midweek. This thermal trough may allow some of that to work its way up the coastline here as we go on through mid next week. But yeah, so we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll update some of these temperatures in the heat wave. It looks like it's in place, possibly at least 3 degrees, 90 plus for Seattle, possibly 4, maybe even 3-4 degree days down towards Portland, flirting with 100 degrees. Eastern Washington up towards 110 for some locations. Same thing with Eastern Oregon, temperatures above 100, especially for the valleys. So yeah, so we'll talk again tomorrow. We'll do this then. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.